Hi, this is Curtis Kupfersmith with NRS-World.com. Today we want to talk to you about the horn knot that we sell. The horn knot is used mainly by calf ropers or people roping ranch use purposes. The horn knot serves a lot of different uses. The main use that it is used for is it will go around the horn. It will save the horn for if you're dallying or putting a lot of pressure on it to where it won't rub off on the leather that's the main part of the saddle on the post. I'm going to explain to you today how to put on the horn knot. It's not a difficult process, it's just a little time consuming. Alright, so we'll just slide this horn knot simply over the horn. The first place you want to start is in the middle. When you start in the middle, you'll notice that this is just simply weaved through. It's simply just rolled over and under. So what you'll start out with is just pull one strand in the middle. You'll pull that strand out and you'll simply work your way around that strand on each strand. This is going to get all the slack out of the horn knot and eventually will make it tighter. Alright, as you can see, it's starting to get a little tighter on the horn. I'm starting to get here to the end of it to where it's going to be snug enough to where I can start pulling to get it the final tightness on it. So you can see I'm getting to where I'm at the bottom of the horn knot, so when I get to the end I'll start pulling tighter on the top and on the bottom. As you can see, I'm down here at the bottom now. I'm almost finished at the very bottom strand, so you can see we're pretty tight in the middle now. We're just kind of doing our final touches. I'm trying to keep it pulled down to the bottom to where I'll be able to cover the bottom portion of this horn as well as the bottom on the front and the back. So I'm making sure that I can get it all the way down. If I don't get it all the way covered, I can always go back and braid it back through, which is not that difficult of a process once you're seeing how this is all braided together and coming through. So I've got about one more row here and I'll be at the bottom and I'll be able to pull this bottom strand and get it completely tight. You'll be able to see the work that I've done, see sort of what's going to be around the final touches. But I'm still getting a bunch of mobility here, being able to move the horn around because I haven't started tightening it yet. I'm just getting all the slack out of it before I tighten it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over, you can see how it loops through. So there's one loop, there's two loops, three loops. I'm going to start about the third loop and I'm going to start pulling on it. Start pulling each one to get them a little tighter as I go, and this will start to tighten. I'm going to tighten from the top to the bottom. This will allow me to be able to get to the bottom and be able to make sure my bottom is secure around the very bottom base of the horn. Alright, so I've started to get the top pretty tight here. I'm going through here and just pulling it and making sure I get it tight. I'm also using an awl right now, which will help me to figure out exactly where I'm at. So as you see, I can pull through that. This will help me to get it tight. If I can pull that tight, move it around again, grab my awl again to where I can figure out exactly which strand it is that I need to be pulling on. Start pulling it tight again and just working my way around. I'm working my way down. As I'm working down, this will allow me to be able to make sure that the base of the base of the horn will be really tight around the base of the horn. Alright, as you can see, I'm pretty tight now at the top. I'm getting down towards the middle here, and I've got a lot of loop here again, which is good, but I'm able to see now exactly where I'm pulling my awl through to be able to get these strands tight. As I'm getting down towards the bottom, it's getting a lot tighter, so it's getting a little more tough to get the strands pulled through. That's exactly what I'm wanting. I'm getting it good at the bottom to where I'll have a good solid base to where this horn knot won't be able to roll up. So you can see I still have a little mobility, but not as much as I did. So I will get this completely tight here at the bottom, and then I'll go to the top again and make sure I get that completely snug before I do the final touches of burning the ends of the knots off. Alright, now we've got it fairly snug at the top here. You can tell we can't move it. It'll move a little at the bottom but not at the top. So what we're doing now is it's getting real tight, so what I'm having to do is use this awl again to make sure I get this pulled. Once I get a little loop in there, I can take my needle nose pliers, and what we're doing is I'm getting them tight like this and using this as a brace to be able to get it tighter. Using the other side of the horn as a brace to be able to pull this around so I have something to get it completely snug with. But now that it's not moving very much, I'm having to work my way around it without moving the horn itself. So I get a little bit started here. As I get a little started, take my needle nose pliers, get a loop pulled through, use the back part of the horn, to get it pulled completely tight so that each loop is getting the maximum potential to get it as snug as I can possibly get it. Alright, now I'm on my last pass around to the bottom of the horn. The problem I'm having now is that I still have a space right here in the bottom of the horn. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to add another row of the horn knot to this. Seems a little difficult, but it's not hard. All I did here was, as I'm pulling it tight, I pulled my slack like I normally would. I'm going to take the excess string that I had at the bottom, I'm going to run it up through the hole from the bottom up to the top. So I'll have this laying over here. Then I would just go just as if I was tightening it. So I'm going to grab the next strand right here to pull it tight. As I pull this tight, I have another loop right here from the excess. I'm going to slide this excess string right here up through the bottom, up through the top. Make sure I got that tight. Then I will find my other strand right here. I'll pull it tight, making sure I have this laid down just right to where I have it laying right on that gap there on this excess string. I'll pull this wrap tight. And I'll just continue going with just putting this excess string through the excess loop I have and just continue going. Alright, now we have finished an entire new rotation that we've added onto the horn knot. We've done that simply by pulling the excess string through the holes that is through the loop that is created from the excess string. So we've just pulled that through there and then pulled it tight. Now we have come to a point where we have filled in the gaps that we'd like to fill in, and we no longer need to add any more string. So now all we need to do is simply tighten it as we were prior to adding more string. So now I'll just leave this excess string here, and I will start by pulling tight again the string that I had. Now that we're down at the bottom, it's very crucial to make sure that we get it as tight as possible. So I'm now at the last step. All we gotta do is pull that tight now. So I've got my horn knot tight. As you can tell, it's on there. I cannot turn the horn knot at all. So now that I've got it completely tight, all I'm gonna do is cut it off, cut the excess string off right there where it ends. That cut off at the bottom and also at the top. And I've got a large lighter here that I'm going to use to be able to burn that down to where it will burn down and it will conform. So I'm cauterizing that back to where it's going to stay tight on there so that it's not going to ever slip or burn back. Alright, we now have our horn knot completely assembled. It's completely put on and finished. We have it cauterized on both sides of the knot to where it's not going to come off. We have it safe and secure to where it's not going to twist. Now it's just ready to use. This horn knot is perfect for using for calf roping, for ranch work, things like that. It's going to protect the leather on the horn and make your saddle last a lot longer. If you have any questions about this product or any other products that we offer here at NRS, please feel free to call us at 800-467-6746. Once again, this is Curtis Kupfersmith with NRSWorld.com. Thanks.